What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Darian's Pokemon. Going to be playing another game on Ptcgo with my Buzzwole Garbodor deck that me, Natalie, and Riley have been working on. This is the list that I'm probably going to be playing at the St. Louis Regional Championships. Going to give it one more go here on Ptcgo. I like this deck a lot. I think it is just so good for a brand new format where people are going to be bringing all sorts of different kinds of new decks. Going to be bringing Magnezone, going to be bringing Empoleon, going to be bringing Zoroark decks. Going to be bringing Greninja decks. Garbodor just puts in so much work versus so many decks. Even if your opponent hits Field Blower from time to time, just the turns where you do stop it are just so huge. It's like the equivalent of having Hex Maniac in your deck, really. You don't even need it every turn. Just so long as you have it most turns, you could stop your opponent really quite literally in their tracks from being able to execute their game plan, and it's just such a strong thing to have when you play an otherwise aggressive deck. Buzzwole Carbank, that's aggressive. You could get a turn 2 absorption with this deck, no problem. You could get Knuckle Impact, Knuckle Impact, Knuckle Impact for game with this deck, no problem. And then on top of that, you're shutting down your opponent's abilities. That's just a good combination right there. And then you're limiting their bench space too. This deck is aggressive. This deck is just fantastic. And I really hope that it ends up showing its stuff at the St. Louis Regional Championships this weekend. We were really astonished by how well it was performing in our testing during the weekend of Oceania. We just kept running games against it, running games with Tord's deck against it, running games with everything, and we could not find anything that was beating this deck consistently. So I would be surprised if at least one of my friends, I think we've got quite a few people that are committing to this list. I would be pretty surprised if not one of them does really well at St. Louis, just because of how consistent and strong this archetype is. I would definitely be surprised. So let's see what we got here. Turn 1 parallel, really good. Also, if I could just go ahead and grab myself a Fury Belt, this Staryu is going down. So that would be excellent as well. I don't really want to put that Floatstone on the Buzzwole because I want a Fury Belt. So let's go see if we can rip it. And we didn't. No. That's fine. We'll just go ahead and give it the good old Jet Punch. We'll use our Nest Ball there, trusty old Nest Ball, and get ourselves a Trubbish because that's going to help out a lot as well. And then I think I'm just going to retreat into Buzzwole and Jet Punch. So that's fine. Maybe that means since I didn't knock out the Staryu, hopefully my opponent does not have Field Blower and will not be able to do their water duplicates for full effect. If they do not have Field Blower, that means that they'll only be able to get 2 Frogadiers into play, which is really good for me, especially if they don't evolve that Staryu. But they got the Staryu up. That's fine. I definitely plan on knocking out that Starmie eventually, because the Starmie in this matchup just allows your opponent to just, continue recycling their energy. And when they're able to get the most out of their energy, why did they bench that Froakie? Did they miss their water energy? If they miss the water energy, okay, so they bench Froakie. Are they just going to water duplicates for 1? That seems really bad. I'm not exactly sure. Unless they drew into like 3 Frogadiers or 2 Frogadiers. Maybe, and the only reason I could see benching that Froakie is if you accidentally drew into too many Frogadiers as well. We're probably not going to end my opponent here. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to Ultra Ball and get myself a turn 2 Garbodor. What's not to like about that? With a Floatstone and a Sycamore. So let's just go ahead, slap that down. And now we are rocking and rolling in business. Can we get ourselves a Fury Belt now? No, you're saying I can't. I can't find a Fury Belt or a Strong Energy for that matter. Just either of them would be great. Wow, I have so many outs to those. But that's fine. The show must go on, so it will. Let's do ourselves a favor and try to hit this Max Elixir. Can we hit it? No, but there is a Fury Belt in that top 6 cards, just not in my hand. I don't want to attach the energy to that Buzzwole and just have it get punished, so I'm probably just going to put it on that Buzzwole there. And we're just going to Jet Punch and do 30 more damage to the Starmie, and hopefully that Starmie will eventually go down. We're definitely taking advantage of the fact that Parallel City, Parallel City is all we got going for us right now. If they did draw into a Frogadier, so no wonder they benched that Froakie. But Parallel City is all we got going for us right now as far as limiting my opponent's setup. I mean, we also were able to get a turn 2 Garbodor, but we didn't need the turn 2 Garbodor. We got another turn until Giant Water Shurikens start pouring in. What we needed to hit was a Strong Energy or a Fury Belt or something in order to allow us to actually hit these odd numbers, to hit Frogatier's odd numbers. That would have been very good for us if we were able to do that, but it's all good. Looking like I'm probably going to take a Moonlight Slash to the face this turn, but as long as my opponent doesn't have any Max Potion shenanigans on that Starmie, I am fine with it. That doesn't really bother me at all. And then I'm probably just going to work on building up this benched Buzzwole as this active Buzzwole eventually bites the dust. I could set up a second Carbink, but I don't really think it's too terribly needed. I probably will just slap this thing down, though, so that when I Cynthia, I don't get it back into my hand. And then I may also decide to go for Zygarde, because Zygarde is like low-key not bad in this matchup, since he could just do 100 over and over again, and with Fighting Fury Belt, he actually hits some pretty relevant math. So let's see if we can go get our Zygarde buddy. We'll get him, good old pal there, and we'll slap our Carbink down, try to thin our deck as much as possible. I will then also, let's see, if I hit this thing for 30 more damage, ugh, that is just so gross. Well, it'll be up at 90. Oh no, that's just like not what we want. I'll probably just put this energy on the Zygarde, to be honest, because we'll probably just rely on that thing to end up knocking out this Greninja with that second attack there. Oh my goodness, like we really are not seeing these cards here. We're just not seeing what we want. I could parallel myself, but nope, we're not doing that. We're just going to parallel my opponent again, slap the blue side down, make sure they don't set up any more than they already have. And then I could Ultra Ball for Carbink, but I'm not really going to do that. I'm just going to wait and see. If my opponent gets like a big turn where they Field Blower and then take a knockout, I'll save the Ultra Balls in case I need to Tapu Lele or something on that turn. So we got ourselves a Lily, so that's cool. Save the Ultra Balls. I can thin my hand down, and then eventually Lily as well. This Greninja does have 90 damage on it, but I imagine that they're going to evolve it into the break, giving them 80 more hit points. So that is the reason why I ended up going for the Zygarde here, is because Zygarde can actually hit the 80 hit points that this thing will have remaining. Whereas, yeah, sure, this Buzzwole could hit the remaining 80 hit points with like Absorption or something like that. But, I mean, who knows? I just think that the Zygarde is probably a decent option just because it can get in hits back to back while also healing itself. Like, yeah, not a bad guy to bring into play right here. Now my opponent may decide to try and save this Greninja and retreat into a different one, which could make the Zygarde attachment like a little bit suboptimal. But alternatively, I can also go for Carbink Break. That is a play I have access to as well. Off a big Sycamore like this, I have to imagine they're probably going to hit that Field Blower. I mean, they only got 19 cards left in deck. Most Greninja decks are playing like 3 copies of Field Blower. Probably not going to be too good for me. If they hit a Field Blower and they got an energy, they can Giant Water Shuriken and knock this thing out. Just take care of it and get it out of here, and that would be really good for them. But if they did not hit Field Blower, and it looks like they did not, then I am in it to win it. Our Buzzwole's got one more turn. All right, I could Guzma something, but that just like seems really not super great. I could, let's see, Jet Punch it one more time. That also seems like not super exciting, but it probably will be fine. Soften something else up. I think I Ultra Ball the Guzma and the Ultra Ball. That seems fine. Let's Ultra Ball those things away and go ahead and get Carbink Break. And we're just trying to pare our hand down as much as we can. Let's do that. We'll slap this Fighting Energy on the Zygarde, Max Elixir, see if we can hit it. No, we can't. That's fine. Then we're going to Lily for 5. Let's go ahead and Lily. And hey, that's what those cards look like. We got ourselves a Strong Energy, everybody. Wow. So that's good. We can go ahead and Jet Punch and put 30 there. I probably should not have put the Fury Belt on that Buzzwole because it doesn't make a difference. So like that was just a little bit of like a brain fart there. I don't know what I was thinking. And they got max potion on their Greninja as well. That really hurts. That definitely hurts. I mean, I probably at this point should have been throwing the energy onto this Buzzwole here, but that's fine. I could absorption at that point, stuff like that. I can just go in with Carbink. If my opponent doesn't hit Field Blower, then that's just another turn. I throw up Carbink, accelerate, and then we're back in business, no problem. I don't have like any energy in the discard though, so like I'm not even going to be Carbinking for that much. Looks like my opponent is going to Moonlight Slash. They do not have any abilities, but oh, the Fighting Fury Belt made a difference. Oh, it did make a difference. Okay. So, all right. I don't mind the Fighting Fury Belt play. I guess Buzzwole's thicker than I thought. Okay. So we are going to attach a strong energy. Probably, I could retreat the Buzzwole, but that's just saying like as soon as they hit a Field Blower, that thing goes down. So I don't think that's really worth it. That thing's probably going down anyway. So let's just throw a strong energy on there. I don't really want to end either because it doesn't look like my opponent is really playing too many cards. So let's just Jet Punch. We'll slap 30 more damage onto that guy. And then I think I'll save the end until like my opponent ends up taking these two prizes. Then that way I can actually get ahead of the game and my opponent, nerf them down to a hand of 4 because they'll have a big hand after they take this knockout. There's really no point in me ending there. I still got my energy in hand. I'm still just going to continue manually attaching. And that Fighting Fury Belt, I mean, that put in work. That made a big difference. I didn't realize that they weren't just going to knock me out. I guess they really wanted to keep their Greninja line. Now they're going to Shadow Stitching. That doesn't make a difference because I already have Garbodor in play. I mean, I guess if I had Field Blower my own Garbodor, then that would have been something, but that's not anything I intended on doing. So let's see here. I could do 120. That doesn't quite get the knockout, so I'm going to have to go in with an Absorption GX. I'll bench my other Buzzwole. And then I should have, okay, so a little ordering thing. I should have Nest Balled, failed it, and then benched the Buzzwole, but oops, here we go, on with the show. That is just, just to get that out of my deck. I should have done that because you can't Nest Ball if your bench is full. So I should have done that, but live and learn, and now you know. Let's go in and get that Absorption GX off, take care of this guy here. Now we can attack again since we Absorptioned. Hopefully my opponent does not have too much in this 4-card hand. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Got 60 damage on this Greninja here as well. Means that Zygarde is going to be able to pick up the pieces with that guy. It looks like my opponent does have Brooklyn Hill though. They are going to start to be able to get these pieces that they need in order to get these bench guys kind of built up. So I wonder if they have a supporter in hand. Hoping that they don't. Hoping that they just got nothing. Oh, they got the Finny. Oh, do they have the water energy too? They must have the water. They're going for it off an end. Oh, this is a little bit detrimental. However, it doesn't really matter. I've got Carbink at the end of the day, and I could just get energy onto a new Buzzwole just as fast as I lost it. So that is a little bit annoying. However, it does give me the option to take a big 2-prize turn. I could definitely do that because now I have the option to knock out that Tapu Fini for 2 prizes, which I did not have before. I think what we do here is that we Ultra Ball. Oh my goodness, what do we do? I could knock out. No, that thing's got 60 hit points left. Oh boy. I could go for, I'm probably not hitting double max elixir, huh? I have 1 max elixir left, and I mean, we could hit double max elixir. It's not like the craziest thing I've ever heard of. We're probably going to end up Carbinking this turn. But yeah, okay, that's fine. We'll still have 2 Guzmas in deck. So let's Ultra Ball these away here and get ourselves another Buzzwole back into action. And then we're going to try and hit a max elixir. See if we can hit that onto a benched Buzzwole. Sure. All right, we'll take it. And then we're just going to Cynthia. And we're going to hope that we hit ourselves a fighting energy, which we did so that we can accelerate with our Carbink, and we'll probably just do the good old-fashioned basic fighting since the math is not going to make any difference on that Carbink. And let's just go ahead and get this thing going. I'm not going to put that Fighting Fury Belt down yet because the Fighting Fury Belt does actually matter. Some of its math does make a difference when we are accelerating. So, when we are attacking, the Fighting Fury Belt makes a difference. Like if I have 3 basic fightings, I need the Fighting Fury Belt to hit 170. So I'm going to save the Fighting Fury Belt in my hand just in case. Now, I'm not really, you might look, the thing about a Garbodor deck, also, I'm saving the Fighting Fury Belt in case I get Field Blowered. I need to have like a tool in hand ready to play on that Garbodor at all costs. So like, if it's got to be a Fighting Fury Belt, we play the Fighting Fury Belt onto that Garbodor 10 times out of 10. So, yeah, as you can see, my opponent, they're just going to have to hit into this thing. They are not drawing into their Field Blowers, or they're not playing any, something like that. And there's that Nest Ball that I should have burned earlier in the game, but that is fine. That's fine. Let's go ahead and just Knuckle Impact this thing. And then the cool thing about Carbink is that we could just go up, Knuckle Impact, take this knockout on this Greninja. You know that hurts. I mean, nobody just likes getting their Greninjas just abused like that. And then next turn, I could just retreat back into Carbink, accelerate to my Buzzwole, rinse, wash, repeat. Super cool interaction that I have with Garbodor up. You can afford to be that slow when you have Garbodor into play because you really just limit the options that your opponent has. So it doesn't really matter if you're just being super grindy about things. Also here, I could just retreat, truthfully, into Zygarde and take the knockout on the Greninja here, which is definitely what I'm going to do because, let's see, I don't have any other. Yes, I'm definitely going to do that. Let's just retreat into Zygarde, and we're going to get rid of probably the Strong and the Fighting. And the reason we get rid of the Strong there is just because I don't know if my opponent plays Enhanced Hammer. So I think I also am going to put the basic Fighting on and then attach the Fighting Fury Belt so that I can just Land's Wrath. Like I said, I don't know if my opponent plays Enhanced Hammer, so I'm just being a little bit conservative there on those plays. Now, my opponent has got to be like, they don't really have anything to do. They haven't even played a Field Blower this game. They played one Field Blower earlier. Maybe they prized one. They're just having trouble finding their last one. But, yeah, I mean, that's Garbodor doing its thing. Like, if your opponent doesn't find Field Blower, it's just going to be a bad time for them for sure. I only got 2 prizes left. All I need to do is hit a Guzma. I should have like 1 or 2 Guzma left in deck. I didn't check to see if I'd prized one. So there could be one of my final prizes, but at this point, I don't really think that there's anything that my opponent can do to pull this game out. I've got my eyes on that Tapu Fini. If I can just get my Guzma, I mean, otherwise I can really afford to just chug through my opponent's Pokemon at a very slow pace as well. I could just Land's Wrath over and over again, and I'll probably do just fine. And then this is going to be really depressing for my opponent when I just attach this Strong and just Land's Wrath again, but for 130 with that perfect math there. Like, they're definitely not going to like that because now they are just so far from getting a Greninja Break into play. There's a Guzma. I did prize 1. Probably going to be able to finish this game with Zygarde next turn, even if my opponent flips like a Bubbleheads or something. Got Guzma to get myself out of it if my opponent does not end me to 1. But even if they do end me to 1 and start bubbling, like, there's not really much else that you can do there. This game is looking like it is wrapped up for my opponent. Fun game, though. You know, definitely, I think that the Garbodor helps a lot versus Greninja for a Buzzwole deck. Let's see, they're going to go hit and run. That's cool because we just got Land's Wrath on this Starmie. Good game to my opponent. I think I've played this dude before. I recognize his avatar. But thank you to my opponent for a good game. Definitely a good showcase of the Buzzwole Garb deck. I feel like Greninja is a really kind of rough matchup for Buzzwole Lycanroc, so the Garbodor really helps tilt things in your favor there if they can't find their Field Blowers. Alternatively, you could play the Giratina promo like Tord did at Oceania Finals where he won. You know, when in his winning list, he played the Giratina promo. He realizes, like, Yay, my deck has a bad Greninja matchup, so you throw it in there and you flip it. You flip the matchup entirely. So I think that was a valid inclusion in there. I think if I was playing Buzzwole Lycanroc, I probably would have the Giratina promo in my deck for this weekend, just because I have a lot of respect for Greninja as a deck right now. With Cynthia, it's just a whole new beast, gets a whole lot better, and just has a lot more consistency options available to it. So that's it for Buzzwole Garbodor. It's the list that me and all my friends are playing at the St. Louis Regional Championships this weekend. So let me know what you think of the deck in the comments below. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel, check me out on Twitter at enjoyfriend, ENJOY friend. Thank you all for watching. Peace.